Story 1. It happened to my aunt. For context, my aunt believes she has a hex on her. That's what she calls it. Bad things following her. Strange gaps in memory. Things happening around her that she can't explain. This happened when she and her youngest daughter were home alone. Just the two of them, late at night, asleep in their rooms. My aunt's bedroom is at the very end of the hallway. You have to walk past every other room to get out, past the living room, past the kitchen. She woke up in the middle of the night, needing a glass of water. Nothing unusual. She got out of bed and walked down the hallway. The house was dark. Quiet. The kind of quiet where every step sounds louder than it should. She made it halfway through the living room. Then she looked up. There was a woman standing in the kitchen doorway, pale, too pale, wearing a blue dress. Her face was distorted. Not blurry, not hidden, just wrong. Like the features didn't sit where they were supposed to. The woman didn't move. She just pointed straight at my aunt. That's the last thing she remembers. She didn't scream. She didn't run. She blacked out. When she came back, when she tuned back in, she was sitting in her car, the engine off, in the middle of the train tracks. She didn't know how she got there. Didn't remember leaving the house. Didn't remember grabbing her keys. When she checked the time, 3:12 a.m., she completely broke down. She called a friend, crying so hard she could barely speak. Her friend calmed her down enough to ask one question. "Where's Lily? Is she with you in the car?" My aunt froze. Lily wasn't there. Lily was still at the house, alone. When my aunt drove back, she noticed something immediately. The front door was wide open. She ran inside. Lily was sitting on the couch, awake, waiting. Lily told her she had woken up and seen her mom leaving. She tried to talk to her, tried to get her attention, but my aunt never looked at her, never responded, just walked out of the house like she wasn't there. They packed up that night, didn't sleep there again. They stayed the rest of the week at my other aunt's house. My aunt still doesn't remember getting into the car, still doesn't remember leaving her daughter behind. All she remembers is the woman in the blue dress, standing in the doorway, pointing. Story 2. My grandmother warned us never to enter the attic after dark. We should have listened. We used to spend our summer vacations at our grandparents' house in New Orleans. It was a nice house, old but well kept. The kind of place that felt calm during the day. I was 10 years old. My brother was 12. We loved playing in the attic during the daytime. Card games, board games, action figures spread across the floor. My brother liked teaching me new games up there. It felt like our own space. But our grandma had one rule. She always told us not to play in the attic after dark. She didn't explain why. She never raised her voice. She just said it calmly. Every time, "Don't go up there after dark." We laughed it off, especially my brother. To him, it sounded like one of those old house warnings adults give kids for no real reason. One evening, my brother decided to test it. He asked me to play in the attic late, after sunset, just to see if anything would happen. We went up there and played until around 7. Nothing felt strange. No sounds, no movement. I got bored, tired. I wanted to go play video games. My brother tried to convince me to stay. He wanted to keep testing it. I didn't leave because I was scared. I just didn't care enough to stay, so I went downstairs. He stayed. Around 7:30, we heard him scream. Not a yell, a scream. We ran toward the attic. He came rushing down the stairs, terrified, barely able to talk. My mom grabbed him and asked what happened. My dad wasn't home. He was out at a bar. My brother said someone had slapped him. Hard, on the back. My mom lifted his shirt. There was a handprint, but it wasn't normal. It was too large. The fingers were too long, slightly twisted, misshapen. It didn't look human. The next day, once he felt a little better, we asked him what really happened. He said he was playing with his action figures when he noticed something in the corner of the attic. A dark figure, not moving, just standing there. He panicked and ran for the stairs, and that's when it hit him. Even the next day, the mark still burned. By the second day, it was smaller. By the third day, it was gone. So we tried not to think about it. My parents asked our grandma about the attic. She said she didn't know what was up there. But sometimes, late at night, she heard things. Footsteps, objects falling. She never checked. Whatever it was, never came downstairs. It stayed in the attic. After that, my brother started getting sick. At first, it was subtle. A fever that wouldn't go away. Weight loss. We thought it was stress. Fear. Shock. For the first week, we didn't even go to the doctor. When we finally did, they gave him medicine. Basic treatment. But he didn't improve. A month after the incident, we got the diagnosis, skin cancer. By the grace of God, he survived. He's alive, married, living a normal life. But we've never forgotten where it started. That slap, that handprint. Story 3. I was around 7, maybe 8, old enough to remember it clearly. Young enough to know when something felt wrong. I was hanging out with my best friend at my house. We were home alone. That wasn't unusual. It never scared us. My house had a basement we loved. It was the best place to hang out. That's where we always went. To get down there, you had to open the basement door and walk down a long set of stairs. Under those stairs was a small cellar door. We used to talk about it all the time. We swore we could hear noises coming from there. Weird ones, low, muffled. It always scared us, but we never really took it seriously. That day, we went down like usual, playing, laughing, not thinking about it, until we heard it again. A noise from the cellar. This time, it didn't sound random. It sounded like a voice, a man's voice, or something close to it. We froze. The house was empty. No TV on, no music, no one else home. We stood there listening. The sound came again. My heart was pounding so hard, I could feel it in my ears. After a while, we worked up the courage to open the cellar door. Slowly, the light inside flicked on. Nothing. Empty. No one there. We laughed it off, told ourselves we were just imagining things. So we went back to playing. Not long after, we heard it again. Louder this time. Closer. That's when I had an idea. I told my friend I'd grab my iPad and record the cellar, just to prove nothing was there. I set the iPad up inside the cellar, turned the light on, propped it so the camera faced the room. There was nothing blocking it, nothing hanging down, nothing near the lens. Then I closed the cellar door. We didn't wait around. We ran upstairs. We left the video recording for about 6 minutes, the longest 6 minutes of my life. Eventually, we went back down, hands shaking, hearts racing. I opened the cellar door and stopped the recording. Then we sat down and watched the video. At first, everything looked normal for about 15 seconds. You could hear us walking up the stairs, leaving the basement. And then the screen went black, not dark, black, like something had covered the camera. The audio kept going. The entire rest of the video stayed black. No flickering, no change, until you could hear us walking back down the basement stairs. And suddenly, the video came back, clear again, like nothing had happened. The light never turned off. Nothing fell in front of the camera. Nothing should have been able to block it. The iPad hadn't moved. There was nothing in that cellar. But something had stood between us and the camera. I'm older now, and I still think about that video, because whatever was down there didn't want to be seen, and it knew exactly when we left the room. Story 4. I grew up in an older house, built in 1922, on a small farm. Strange things happen there sometimes. Little things, easy to ignore. But this is the one experience that never left me, because I wasn't alone. I was younger, and my older cousin was over. We were in the attic. It wasn't a small attic. It was big, almost like another room. We used it as a playroom. The stairs leading up to it were very steep, almost ladder-like. You had to lean forward to climb them. That detail matters. We were up there playing. Stuffed animals. Mario. I don't remember exactly. At some point, we stopped playing and just started talking. That's when we heard it. A tap on the window. We both looked up. This was an attic at the top of a 3-story house. We told ourselves it was probably a bird. That explanation felt safe, so we went back down the stairs to my room to grab my phone. We wanted to make videos of ourselves, just messing around. Later, when we watched one of the videos back, we noticed something in the background. Someone peeking up from the stairwell, just a head rising slowly into view. The angle was wrong. There was no way anyone could do that, unless they were at least 7 feet tall. My stomach dropped. We both saw it at the same time. We didn't say anything at first. We just stared at the screen. Then we panicked. We ran back into the attic and climbed onto a metal bed in the corner. That bed had always felt wrong to me. It was already there when we moved in. Cold, heavy, out of place, but it was far from the stairs. We wanted distance. Moments later, it started banging on the windows. Not just one, all 4. Rapid, hard. Then, the sound of something running on the roof. Fast, heavy, back and forth. There was no animal that made sense. No explanation that fit. We screamed. We ran down those steep stairs as fast as we could. We didn't sleep until very late that night. The next morning, my mom asked us why we were making so much noise in the attic. We didn't know what to say, because for the first time, what happened to me wasn't something I could blame on my imagination. Someone else had seen it too, and whatever was up there wasn't just watching. Story 5. This happened when I was 8 years old. My family was going to take a walk in the park that day. Nothing special, just one of those normal outings. I had just gotten a new bike for my birthday. I was excited. I begged my parents to let me ride it. Eventually, they agreed. We went into the forest park. It was busy. A lot of people around. Dogs, families. Everything felt safe. I was riding ahead of my parents. Pretty fast. I was the only one with a bike, so it was easy to pull away. Up ahead, there was a roundabout. I thought it went straight through, like this. Simple, but I didn't notice something important. There was a small path branching off in between. A narrow road, easy to miss. I took it the wrong way. Suddenly, I was alone. I slowed down, confused. But I assumed the first road I saw was still part of the path, so I kept going. That's when I fell. My bike slipped and dropped into a ditch. Not deep, but deep enough. I tried pulling it out. I wasn't strong enough. I started crying. I remember standing there, wiping my face, looking down the road, hoping someone would come by. That's when I saw them, shadow-like figures. 4 of them. They looked human, but not really. Something about them felt off, stiff, unnatural, almost like robots pretending to be people. One of them was wearing something that looked like a skirt, but it wasn't normal. It was shaped strangely, wide, like a stiff semicircle. I remember staring at it because my brain didn't know how to make sense of it. The figures didn't move fast, but they were getting bigger, which meant they were getting closer. My heart started racing. I thought about running, but I didn't. I was terrified that if I left, I'd never find my bike again. So I stayed there, crying, watching. The shadows kept growing. I don't remember them speaking. I don't remember footsteps, just the feeling of being watched and slowly approached. Then, voices, real ones. A mom, a dad, a newborn baby, and a dog. They found me, helped me out, got my bike free. The shadow figures were gone. To this day, I don't know what I saw. I don't know if it was fear, or imagination, or something else. All I know is how real it felt. Standing there alone, watching those shapes get closer. And I'm still grateful to the mom, dad, newborn baby, and dog who helped me that day. Story 6. I was around 16, maybe 17. I lived in a house that felt wrong. There's no better way to describe it. It didn't feel scary in a dramatic way. It felt heavy, like the air never fully moved, like the house was always listening. A lot of strange things happened there, things I still can't explain. This is just a few of them. One afternoon, my sister and I were the only ones home. Middle of the day, sunlight everywhere. We were downstairs when we heard it. Heavy footsteps, boots, slow and deliberate, climbing the stairs. Then a single knock on the front door, sharp, clear. We looked at each other and went to open it. No one was there. No car, no sound of someone walking away. Just the quiet house again. Another time, all of us were helping our mom pull up the old carpet. Bedrooms, hallway. After that, everyone went to their own rooms, playing consoles. Doors open. Then we heard it. Footsteps running up and down the hallway. Small ones, light, almost careful. We all stepped out at the same time, stood there, staring at each other. No one was laughing. No one was joking. Then, without saying a word, we all went back into our rooms, like pretending not to notice was safer. The worst ones happened when I was alone. I'd get home from school early. My mom worked as a cleaner at my school, so she'd send me home to wait. My dad had a FIFO job. He was away. I always locked the front door. Always. I checked it constantly. It was a habit. That part matters. One afternoon, I was listening to music when the audio suddenly cut out. Instead of silence, there was feedback. Weird. Distorted. And then I heard it. Heavy footsteps coming through my phone. Like someone was walking inside the sound. I panicked. Threw my phone across the room so hard, the battery popped out. I ran to my room and shut the door. Eventually, I calmed down. When I came back out, the front door was wide open. My phone was back on the couch, put neatly there, as if I'd never thrown it. No one was home. I stood there, frozen, waiting for my mom to walk in. She didn't get home for another 2 hours. That house loved to move things. Things would disappear, then reappear in places they never should have been. But that one stuck with me. This one still does. I shared a room with my sister. One morning, I woke up for no reason. No noise. No urge to move. I checked my phone. 3:03 a.m. The room felt wrong. Too quiet. Then my phone rang. Blocked number, I answered. I don't know why, I said. Hello? A little girl's voice said hello back. I said hello again. She said hello again, but her voice was deeper. I said it one more time. Her voice got deeper and deeper and deeper. I hung up, pulled the blanket over my head, and forced myself to sleep. In the morning, I checked my phone. No missed calls, no answered calls, nothing at 3:03 a.m. The room felt wrong, too quiet. Then my phone rang. Blocked number, I answered. I don't know why, I said. Hello? A little girl's voice said hello back. I said hello again. She said hello again, but her voice was deeper. I said it one more time. Her voice got deeper and deeper and deeper. I hung up, pulled the blanket over my head, and forced myself to sleep. In the morning, I checked my phone. No missed calls, no answered calls, nothing at 3:03 a.m. That house gave me vivid dreams, so vivid, I learned the difference between dreaming and being awake. I was awake, and finally, my younger brother, he woke up before sunrise. Around 3 or 4 in the morning, he went into the back room to get a drink from the fridge. In the yard, he saw a woman, small, frail, wearing a white dress, gardening. In the dark, I'm sure if I asked all my siblings, they'd have their own stories. That house didn't belong to just one of us. Whatever was there made sure everyone noticed it. Eventually, we left and the heaviness lifted, like something finally let go.